Hey guys, good morning. Hey, I sent an email to the Trump admin, and I asked a very specific question. If I can prove through the 7 years worth of emails that I wrote to the media, forecasting what's happening right now, forecasting Gaza and Israel and whatnot, if I can prove that Israel targeted my family when I was younger and recently, I think it was in 2022, if I can prove this, and then if we can prove that Israel has targeted other citizens, Israel using AIPAC and other organizations to target American citizens, can we sue them? So we're not boycotting you. Can we sue them? We can prove that they have targeted American citizens, and that targeting has affected their capacity to make money, to take care of themselves, and so on and so forth. Can we sue them? I originally, when I was on Threads, put out that we should do a class action lawsuit against the Christian church, because the way that they narrate different groups then clearly dictates how the state treats them. So one step further would be a class action lawsuit against Israel for targeting citizens, a lot of citizens too. I don't know that any other country has done this in this way outside of Russia. I mean, I think in 2020, was it 2010? We had like 10 Russians sent back to Russia for being here illegally, if you will. So the question becomes, how many Israelis are here illegally, operating for Israel? In 2016, when Trump won, something happened that I now understand. When he won, remember, I had a premonition that he was going to win. So after he won, here's what began happening. In the weeks after he won, there were white men specifically across the country saying things like, you all can go back to your country now. We're taking our country back now. You all can go back to your country. I had a friend that happened to, and a white man tried to intimidate and threaten me during that time period. So what that told me was that whatever was going on was wide and very wide for white men in different states right after Trump wins to all say the same thing. Very similar to Israel has a right to defend itself. Everyone says the same thing. This was the same. Trump wins, and all of a sudden, in different states, you have white men saying, go back to your own country. We're taking our country back. Oh, it's on now. I mean, all with the same tenor, frequency, and whatnot. So that told me that they were all getting the same messaging from the same source. We now know that same source is Christian Zionism and Israeli Zionism. Is that what you call it? We now know that that's what it is. So even on social media early on, they spoke. You know what? They actually spoke the way that the aliens do in Three Body Problem, where they're like, you humans need to be brought to heel and taught a lesson. You're bugs. That's kind of how they've been behaving since 2016. So they've always leaked who they were and what they were about. Always leaked it. So strategy-wise, going forward, we've got to think way outside the box. And I am encouraging those who have been in this fight so much longer than myself, and if you've got connections to other people who can look into this, can we sue? Can we sue Israel? We've sued Christian nationalists. I mean, Rachel Maddow did a massive story about how the KKK and Nazism was dealt with in America. And they were taken to court. They were sued. Now, I know Trump is doing a lot with courts, trying to make it so that they can't make decisions against him. And I just need to keep saying this. If you are lawyers, you need to come together and get a plan. If you are judges, you need to come together and get a plan. If you are, you need to come together and get a plan and begin to build networks so that they can't they can't pick people off one at a time. The Supreme Court justices, when they were confirmed, I also had premonitions during that time. So if you've been listening to me, you know that, number one, I'm a seer, I see what's coming. Number two, I knew no one was going to listen to anything that I have to say, because this ecosystem is set up such that the black voice is not listened to. So I sit back and I pass out my information to those who are ready to hear it and ready to take the action necessary from your position that you can take. Remember, Roger Stone said it perfectly. They are taking power because they can take it to see if anyone will push back. That's what they've been doing this entire time. When I was writing emails to Biden, one of the main messages that I conveyed to him, not that he read any of the emails, but one of the main messages that I conveyed was, there is a frequency in this ecosystem that says Democrats cannot lead and cannot have power. And I am encouraging you to bust that, break it down, all the way down, and use the power that you have. That goes for every Democrat who has a seat right now. Additionally, what I wrote in those emails is, Democrats, you guys need to go 2 and 2s. Just don't be alone anymore. Get your handlers. Get rid of them. Get rid of your... You know what? Don't get rid of your handler. Push back. Push back on your handler. And when you do push back on your handler, have a plan. Because they're going to push back. They are wired for... I was just listening to a video last night where a woman was talking about that all Israelis must, you must spend time on the, basically on the PR network. Doing PR for Israel. We have nothing like that, nothing of the sort. Nothing of the sort. Which says we have so much room to grow right now. It's insane. Absolutely insane. First thing to recognize, the power is yours. Netanyahu, Trump, all of these guys, Roger Stone, they've made a decision to take power, and so they're taking power. If you are in a position, I'm repeating myself. As a seer, when I begin to repeat myself, it's because it is a message that needs to be repeated again and again and again and again, because someone's not listening. If you are a legislator, you have power. Red, blue, I don't care. You have power. And if you're on the red team, they have been using you. They groomed you so that they can use you today. So that your voice, which is supposed to be for America, would be aligned only with Israel. So, if you have a handler, push back. And push back hard. Hard. And don't walk away until they understand that America, while a friend of Israel, America stands on her own, with her own voice, with her own, just simply with her own voice. And America's voice says there is a genocide in Gaza. do something. Like, I can't believe that you even asked this question. Trump sues everybody. Like, he's probably the most perfect person to ask the question. He sues everybody for everything. Perfect person to ask the question. Plus, he's president. So what we would be doing, in essence, is taking a note from their playbook, right? They've been using our court system. They've taught the Christian Zionists to do two things. One, to create their own reality in our ecosystem, because they haven't always been like this. And two, they taught them to create their own reality, but to create their own reality, they have to dominate the narrative, right? The lie that is told has to be covered up over and 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 over again. Since 1948, a lie has been perpetrated, which is why I think it was Matthew Brown who came out and did an interview. Immaculate Constellation. He says that we're in a fake world. This is a fake world. Fake worlds come down. And this one is coming down. I think that most of the people who have signed on to what they are doing actually don't want what they're selling. And I think they want a refund. In the past, suing KKK or the other organizations has led to them being bankrupt, having no resources to be able to do what they're doing. So suing an organization like AIPAC or to get Israel off of us, it's been said many, many times, they have so much money, it's insane. Well, if they have so much money, why do they get $3 billion from us? That's a side note. But we just have to be prepared for them to have an enormous amount of money. And so our focus solidly has to be on narrative building. And that would be our purpose. Because that's basically what they've used our justice system for, with a whole lot of court cases to get them up to the Supreme Court. I'm just saying we need to play hardball and do the same thing. And so you were asking about the Christian nationalists, and so I was answering that and saying it's KKK, organizations like that have been sued in the past. And the Christian nationalists, Rachel Maddow covered a lot of that. A lot of the suing that was taking place with the Christian nationalist organizations. And you can find that information with, definitely I think with her, if you do a Google search with her. You know, I think maybe a different way of looking at this, right? Because we're in an ecosystem that by definition, if we don't utilize the power that we have, then forces like what's happening right now will, by definition, rise to the surface. So we must use the justice system for its intended purpose. And that's not weaponizing it. That's using it for its intended purpose. And right now, its intended purpose, the use of the justice system to put in front of the entire globe, in front of everybody, really, those who have been hiding behind the American face, hiding behind the West, hiding and not using their own face to say this is what we want to do and this is who we are. These are our fruits. They've been using us, America, instead. And I'm a Black American. So when I hear leaders across the globe saying things like, the Americans, everything in me is just so, fuck you. I'm a Black gay American in America, and now that Trump is in office, y'all want to go after America? You didn't want to go after America when Bush was in office and using clean break? It's infuriating. Absolutely fucking infuriating. So we must use the tools that we have. The tools that we have is the justice system, the law, and the power of the people who have gone through this, taken the schooling to be able to argue on behalf of the American people against the AIPAC lobby and every other networked institution that is using America to attack the rest of the globe. We must. Okay, totally understand what you're saying. And I think that this is where, this is, the courts is where we need to have this fight with them. That's what I think. In order to change this relationship, in order for American Congress people not to have handlers, in order for Israel not to go over to Hungary and create the same structure, in order for Israel not to do the same thing with India, in order for Israel with AIPAC not to create the same skeleton noded network structure in other countries, we have to use the court, and we have to have some of our best narrative fighters on the team, and they can't be aligned with. Well, I was going to say they can't be aligned with AIPAC, but I'm going to say this again. I believe that there are a lot of people who are even within AIPAC who are not on board with what's going on, and I say that because during the 7 years that I was writing forecasts, premonitions, visions to the media about what was coming, with a lot of it coming true, a lot of what I was writing about was this back-end system, which I believe AIPAC is a part of, that doesn't want the world that they are creating. They don't like the ideas that are being put forth. They've been on this train for so long, they don't know how to get off. And I think we're the ones who are here by design to not just stop them, but redirect them. So you and I are on the same page. So I totally get what you're saying. And I didn't think you were saying that we were going to weaponize it. I know you were saying that they would weaponize it. But we have to get into the arena where they're weaponizing things, because they weaponize everything. They use social media. It was so much fun prior to, I got really sick, couldn't hang out with my community anymore. And social media became the place where I engaged with my community. And then 2016 rolls around, and in comes the Zionists and the Christian nationalists, and ruining a good thing. But I guess this is what they made it for, right? So they're making it so that every arena we run away from. And I'm here saying we need to stop doing that now. They want to weaponize the justice system. We need to jump into the justice system so that we can protect the justice system, but also build a narrative that respects the justice system, respects us, and draws boundaries and lines where we need them.